It is a fine day to go out to fly. Also, I have a lot of work to do. So I did some work. And then I decided to goof off. So I'm going out to fly. I think I'll take the Pavo and the Neo out and see which one does better. Alright. At the courthouse. I think I'll start out, I was going to start with the Pavo. I think I'll actually start out with the Neo. Because it's already bound to the Neo. We'll put the Pavo out in a minute. There's some people, a lot of people at the park today. Hopefully I won't bug them too much by flying around a bunch. A nice, easy to control, mellow Sunday driver Neo. If I don't fly within like 5 feet of the ground, it seems really, really slow. It's like the second I get off the ground just a little bit, you understand exactly how slow a jogging pace can be in the bigger, wider open area. Like I'm moving at the same speed, or I'm just 10 feet off the ground, and you can really feel how it starts feeling sluggish. But it does control pretty well. The wind was picking up a little bit. Kept slapping the Neo around a bit, but even then, it was holding together. Ooh, air conditioning. Maybe I'll go take this over the top of the courthouse. Examine that weird glass steel. What is that? It's not a pyramid, like a prism kind of thing. I don't know what that is on top of the courthouse. Looks kind of neat though. And of course, flying so slow and accurately, it's pretty easy to nail gaps with it. It doesn't have a lot of resistance against the wind though, so that's the big question is when you're doing your little gaps with the Neo and the wind picks up, are you going to be able to get back in, return control to yourself? In a lot of cases, not really. So it helps to have a good idea where you're going. And of course, with all quads, drones and stuff, as long as you're moving forward and putting power behind your actions, you can usually overcome at least some of the effects of wind. It's when you start slowing down, maybe turning side to side, that the effects of the wind start really kicking in. Your stop sign means nothing to me. Or then again, maybe it does. I don't know. Short attention span. You know what? I really want to rip it around a bit. And as nice as the Neo is, it is not ripping anything. It's a gentle wind, a zephyr. I want to go move around with a gust. Some gusto. As soon as I get the thing bound again. What is up with that? Every time I turn around, it comes unbound. Alright, there we go. Finally responding to the radio. Ooh. Man, even a couple of minutes with a Neo, start forgetting exactly how fast these things are supposed to move. They move real fast. Something that moves around this speed, all of a sudden the world gets really, really small, really fast. Little patriotic orbit. And of course, when you're moving around so fast, hitting small gaps gets to be a bit of an issue. When it comes to speed and controllability, neither of these two are the Avata. But is that a tumbleweed? Why is there a tumbleweed in this parking lot? Did somebody literally import a tumbleweed and then dump it out in the parking lot just for the humor of having a tumbleweed roll around the parking lot? Because there's no tumbleweeds growing anywhere around here. That is really weird. Somebody's setting something up in the field. I don't know what though. Hope they don't mind me flying over the top of them. This is kind of my go-to spot. So look at me pulling off a flip like that. Not even crashing into the dirt. I'm getting a better feel for acro now. It's starting to feel a little more natural. Not quite to the part where I can start doing any like decent tricks or anything, but it does feel a lot more like, it feels more like I can understand what's going on. You know, I can feel the plate tipping on top of the stick. You know, you always picture these things as a spinning plate on top of a stick, and I'm getting a feel for the plate on top of the stick. Not a perfect feel, but, you know, close enough. Helps to have a lot of space to fly around in when doing crazy shit like that. Probably too old to have really good reflexes to do neat tricks. Of course, then again, Nick Burns is no spring chicken. He does all kinds of awesome stuff. Maybe there's hope for old dogs. You know, the 03 has a really nice picture. I know that the 04 and everybody's talking about the 04, and it does look like really nice. Ooh, oh, crap. Yeah, I'm running low on power. Okay, let's bring it back. Like the 04 has a really nice picture, but the 03, you're not really sacrificing a lot using it. It's definitely a lot better than what I was getting in that Vista level walk snail. Okay, let's rein this thing back in. All this power's going to my head. Really got to figure out how to land softly one of these days. Or just slam into myself. You know, I'm like a giant walking man pillow. Might as well just park it right in my gut every chance I get. A little worried about doing that because of that time I messed up my 360 camera. Cannot believe all these bad stuff that's happened to me this last week. Just look how fast this thing is going. I'm already over here in the clinic parking lot thing. What was that, like 2 seconds? Jiminy Christmas. Trying to rein in this power is difficult. I actually adjusted the camera and tilted it down a little. Tilted it down a little just because I thought maybe that would help me go slower. It's just making it a little harder to see when I start really moving. I'm going to have to put the camera back where it was. Like a 30-degree tilt might seem like overkill, but this thing moves super fast. It's hard to move slow with it. The Pavo just guns it. Getting my flips and twirlies on. Ooh, more air conditioning. And that crazy patio. Don't want to get too comfortable. I got too comfortable with my Avata, which is the reason why I don't currently have my Avata. Still waiting for them to do the fly away thing since I can't fish it back out of that lake. And so far we have tried numerous times, myself and the gang of people I know, to fish it out of there. No luck. I'm getting a little more comfortable with the acro though. It like takes a minute for my fingers to begin to lock in. Ooh, here we're going for it. Score! I was pretty sure that I was about to bounce that thing right off those poles. I'm pretty sure I can handle that, but you know, I don't want to do that if I can avoid so. Okay, this battery is looking kind of low. Jeez. Would be nice if I didn't bank it off the ground. You know what? It bounced a ways away. I'm gonna flip it over and fly it back to me. I'm just too lazy to get up. Besides, it has this ability, right? Come on. Come back to your master. Just very carefully get it off of the staircase and fly it the 10 feet over here. And then maybe make a perfect landing for once. Just a nice, smooth, calm, just like, yeah, close enough. All right, another pack. Jiminy Chris, I gotta turn off the damn phone. Yeah, note to self. Turn off your phone when doing recordings, you knob. I totally spaced. I've been spacing a lot today. Spacey guy. Oh man, it came unbound again. It's another thing. If I leave it unplugged for a while, it comes unbound. If I give it a little shock, it comes unbound. I mean, it wasn't that hard of a landing, was it? It doesn't come bound regularly because it hit last time. It hit harder than that. Didn't come unbound that time. It came unbound with that tiny little bump. I don't know what's going on with Pavo. I thought I'd fix that with the binding phrase thing, but no. I guess I didn't. Little slow turn there. That's kind of cool, right? I wonder what that guy's doing out there in that field. He's doing something. I probably shouldn't bug him. Oh, zip, zip, zip. Oh, man. The Neo's great for exploration, but it does not feed the addiction for speed. The need for speed is not the Neo's forte. Treetop exploration, going through little gaps, just enjoying being in the air, nice and calm. But if you really want to fly like a bird, Pavo's a lot more where it's at. A real FPV quad. I'm getting a little too far out here. Although I got pretty good range with those tiny little stub antennas. Each one of those antennas is barely the size of the tip of my finger. And yet they get pretty good range. Oh, hey, that's a kite. That's what he's doing out in the field. Oh, shit. Well, I'm going to orbit this thing. See if I can get this under control over here. I don't want to crash into the string. I give it a tiny string, so the odds of me landing right on the string are kind of low. But I've had some pretty bad luck lately. I've done a lot of unusual things. Some people might call lucky, like bad lucky. I don't want to do that again. See if I can rope this in. See, I feel like I need to bleed out some speed. I'll get my fingers back on the throttle. Okay, let's see if we can do this nice and easy. Get a really good... Oh, the battery's telling me I'm low. Come on, hang in there just a little bit more. This is a great shot. I am not landing right now. Just to give me a little bit more juice. Oh, that was pretty cool. Holy crap, it is saying the battery is real low. I haven't seen that warning before. I usually try to bring it in... oh, nope, never mind. Video cut out. I usually try to bring it in at storage voltage. I dipped below 10 volts on a 3-cell. Okay, yep, gotta go get it. I did not make it back. Wow, it actually turned off entirely. I've never had that happen before. I hope the battery's gonna be okay. It's a little puffy. We'll try the Neo. See if I can take the Neo around the kite. Another nice thing about the Neo, huge point in its favor, it has tremendous battery life. You can just fly this thing for what seems like ages. Not only that, if the battery gets low, it'll just bring itself back. Usually well within the power necessary for it to make a return trip. Oh, if only it wasn't so slow. Okay, I remember how to fly this thing. That's why I'm not flying directly after the kite. I gotta wrap my head around this slower control scheme. Get a feel for it again. Probably wrecking my flying abilities going back and forth like this. You really concentrate probably on one type of quad to get your feel for it. Well, a bunch of fucking pigeons up there. Shoot! Shoot! The little bastards. I flew right over the top of them. They're ignoring me. Apparently the Neo is so passive milquetoast, even pigeons look at it with disdain. You respect my Neo, you little fucking flying rats. Look at that. Nothing. Ugh. I'd crash the Neo into it, but I'm pretty sure they could knock it over. And it doesn't have the ability to go into turtle mode, which means if I land upside down on top of the courthouse, my Neo's staying on top of that courthouse forever. I'll tell you, one of these days, I'm going to have a laser gun on my freaking quads. Laser guns on all of them. Hey, there's the kite. Hey, you know what? The Neo is actually pretty good for for following kites, just because kites move so slow. And the Neo moves real slow. Yeah, I feel like I could gap a couple of things. I wonder if I can get between those flag poles. A little worried because the wind keeps picking up now and then. That is a really cool gap, though. Maybe, just ease it through. Oh, yeah, that was a little closer than I was hoping for, but totally fine. Ooh, I see another gap. A slow flyer like this, it would be the perfect gapping machine if they just didn't let the wind kick it around now and then. Man, but look at the battery life on this. Flying like forever. Ooh, yeah, close on that one. You really got to plan your turns with the Neo. Don't think you're going to be able to duck out of the way like you can with most FPV quads. You need to ease into that a bit. It is not that nimble, but it is small. Flies pretty smooth. It's got that DJI hardware software behind it. And again, as long as you're moving forward, you have some control against the wind. As long as you're moving forward at full speed. And believe it or not, this is full speed for the Neo. This is as fast as it will ever go. Well, unless I put in a full manual. That last time I put in the full manual is about the only time I think I've ever heard of anybody almost destroying a Neo from a collision. I could not believe how quickly and how hard it hit that concrete. Knocked the gimbal right back inside of it. Thank God I was able to pop it back out. Now let's not annoy the lady and the dog. Sneaking around the ground. Yeah, I gotta fly around the ground with a Neo, man. It's so boring when you get up high and you can't feel the speed anymore. You gotta get within like 5 feet of the ground just to feel like you're actually moving. Getting amazing range though. The entire building is this thing will have to pass through the entire building. The entire building, I'm on the opposite side of it. Ooh, this is a bit risky. You know what? No, I'm doing it. Come on. Ease it in. Nice. Just keep moving forward. All right. Beans pointed out that gap last time we were around here. I just had to do that once for Beans. I'll put a link to his channel in the description. All right, let's ease the Neo back in. Another nice thing about the DJI stuff, it knows how to land itself. So I don't have to worry about bouncing it off the ground. I just tell it to go down, and eventually it's just like, fine, I'll land, whatever. Starting around at daylight, too. All right. Well, that's a half-assed comparison there. Oh, check it out. Nobody's flying the kite now. It's just being held down by a brick. There's one lazy kite flyer. Now, as I was saying, so ends my comparison between the Neo and the Pavo. It's not really a fair comparison since the Neo is just designed for exploring the air and the Pavo is designed for some serious gunning it. But hopefully more flying tomorrow.